President John Dramani Mahama said DSTV share watchem Jubilee House. Important and unnecessary important. A bit discussing. Again, there's an update on the strike, and I started by telling me who are painful bees on Trestle Hospital any idea. Be commenting some and can't want me names and videos and being who be and I didn't know all cousin and can't want a maca. I want to say as a be said there will be no person much. And then also update on that. High critical analysis and make sure subscribe and then most subscribe click the notification the video be to my to my ship. Yenya tana kakra. Okay, you're starting to say. And who flames the President Mahama said DSTV share. But with Jubilee House. Now enter all government agencies will betray DSTV. A DNTina President Mahama. Ghana forecast immediate steps. You will never be a here and you will not betray the man DSTV.
The executive, of course, he does not have control over the legislature and the judiciary. But the executive, they cannot look forward to receiving this gratia. There is a man who cuts the cost of independence celebrations by 95%, from over 20 million Ghana cedis to 1.5 million Ghana cedis. I can reveal to you that if you come to this house, there's no office in this house that is allowed to subscribe to DSTV or any satellite television. It is the same for.
Well, it's good. I know you watch Joy News.
Absolutely.
So thank John Mahama for that. I think
absolutely.
You watch us.
So you will say that, but that is a trivial matter. But he has done that because when you computed the cost, it was significant money.
Consume local.
I have no difficulty consuming local. My appetite is local, so I actually watch.
So you mean so his cut is affecting what you watch?
Absolutely. You can turn on the television that you see here. You will find that I'm only limited to local television stations.
Even if
yes, but if you add it together, and it is something that will be extended to all government agencies to ensure that we don't waste the taxpayers' money. There are other cuts that will be announced going forward. So this is a man deeply committed to making savings for the Ghanaian, because we know that governance necessarily involves taking tough decisions, some of which will impinge on the citizenry. But the citizenry must see corresponding levels of modesty on the part of government officials. And that's what President Mahama is committed to doing. So I can assure the people of Ghana that perhaps we understand fully their right to vent, their right to express concern about this levy. That levy will be used judiciously, and we can almost promise that it will help alleviate the single biggest problem this country is facing. That is the news sector. All the MPP did is to kick the can along the road and hope that somebody sees it and picks it up. So they kept on postponing and deferring responsibility up until the point where it has caught up with us. But it will be remiss on the part of President Mahama and his government if he doesn't do what is necessary to resolve that problem once. Because we also run a country to put it in good shape for posterity. The problems that have afflicted us over the last 3 decades or so under the Fourth Republic must come to an end at some point. And one of the ways you do it is to take difficult decisions in order that you.
Yes, and according to Felix Kwachofu, to Chief Government Communication Officer, and Wentina Mahama, President Mahama, DSTV show, me support pan local content. Montre Joy News near Dumi BB. Na mo hunsem fo a ebi di with TV no so. Na ebi yisika. Na ebi ye mo kai ka so akora bi a okokun ona na yon kokun akora bi as 10 years so dan ye kobusa na so ohun papa no TV so ofre no ne za na manema no. Me say me DSTV sample me timi nhwe TV bi apart from Joy News na bi a City TV ne ade no. Me timi nhwe bi ana France 24. Me timi nhwe channel na aka ne bi. Ni ye yisika na Freemason for na busa said the National Communication Authority no and the Media Commission no more responsibilities when. And to me say I'm one of the people hardly will you see me defend the media on some of these things. Yeah good size. But the way ya alama crofobia characters bi IGTV na boss on enya papa. And the ancient local ni mo sha na mo behu sebe nsemfo amanfo di wo nam da ye proper regulations amaye. And again it's a cutting cost measure. Mr. One city crane be save in a cutting cost measure. Me Jose to me support to command yenika pre na ya na your politicians on more high taste. Any found fooling. Adi omu ni krombe so mo ye no. Na ye omo de. Na command yeni sika saa. Again na ko bi comment am hu ye me am se me de beto so me refi na nke discuss. Also obenya kro obi e be chi ni se wo hwe bia ye yi na di. Hwe oman ne ane abrewu se ba bi e tane ye nyina yi and they be a makasa me Mahama bano buy no a opportunity be a ye window be say Mahama and me and fixing them be a no because Mahama ban at least the entire change of government would say political and I say a stop it near maybe a buying himself or we nipa or bet to us the same people are buying and attend this are buying 2016 and see a carton maybe kakra until see somebody so level maybe an buying besesa. So that is why the change of government and most political scientists no epeno. But near marketing kitty a bit to chum near one harry so mania. As you applaud, and I think that's hard enough, President Mahama. Always standing to all government agencies. Oh, ko baby pan compare a dear BIA. No bits no me on the phone. No TV, not telenovela, no mood discuss it. Pragiana, be any idea, no mood discuss it. Then the penny here service be this bre agency. Now buying in 10 about a Benya says Canada developmental project. I hear penum. It's a good thing. Now, on the nurses strike, and one more update say about your baby at the nurses and about.
You today. You called the press conference today, and I know you sort of facilitated it because I saw you opening it. You have the finance minister deputy there, you had the health minister there. Obviously, the government is taking this very seriously with the health, almost a crisis now that the strike by the nurses have triggered.
Absolutely, because it's a very serious matter. We are talking about the lives of Ghanaians. Patients who go to seek health care. The expectation is that all necessary and relevant health professionals will be at post to deliver the best possible health care that one can think of. Unfortunately, for a number of days now, we've had the members of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association declare some industrial action to press home demands for specific conditions of service. As the Health Minister reiterated this morning, the government holds enormous respect for all health professionals, and in this instance in particular the nurses and midwives. We know that they play a very crucial role in the health delivery system. Indeed, somebody remarked to me that a hospital can do without doctors, but you cannot do without nurses, and this is a doctor actually who told me this. And so we know that they are the binding agents that holds the health delivery system together, and therefore their presence at various hospitals is an absolute imperative. So it is deeply regrettable that they have had to call this industrial action. As government, we have been engaged in backroom efforts to have the impasse resolved as quickly as possible so that they can go back to post and render the essential services that they are noted for. It was important that we updated the Ghanaian public on the steps being taken. One, to address the impasse itself so that the nurses can go back to work. And then two, what measures are in place to mitigate the effects on patients, because as a government, it's our responsibility to look out for their welfare and do what we can to ensure that the strike does not imperil them and put them in harm's way.
For the nurses,
Yes. Now, me just reinforcement of statement, and now me reading from the Ministry of Health. Almost say, as a result of the ongoing strike by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, it has become imperative for the Ministry of Health to implement additional measures to mitigate any inconvenience that has been caused. The only mitigation, they say, me who say wafra or me no amekanye nurse for no men to me no, they are not being exactly or totally fair with us. MPP ni muji to mom betua. Ana mam nkrofobia friend say panago say den e de call court. Mo de call court asem ni wie agenne. Enti no first no say mo moji mo fun so bitum say mo nso mo internal system bi nya papa. Ko MPP aban ni tue obi one na agree bi e de. Mo de na aka enu a Haruna bi PR bi e nan kasala fa say mo ka no. So MPP aban no bi one na agree bi otua man but mo de call say call court de a na say ye mam niam bi ankoyi enti na yaduru ha. Enti na mo moyen na nyesa mo holding you to ransom kakrasa. On the flip side of things, so no. My main kind paragraph, and I'm fair no. So say the ministry wishes to emphatically state that it has through all appropriate channels led negotiations to ensure smooth approval of the implementation of the new condition of service. In line with the ministry's policy to ensure a healthy population for national development, is a menu and semi perspective. It has become necessary to make provision to fill the gap created as a result of the step. Fill the gap how? Minister Hanu. A vague kakra. Some retired necessary, messa and tasum. and toss mu yen cano crenchamo. Yes, nurses no may you just to me second haneha, nurse and so much responsibility be maybe your mobile fee on munya face level be my macano. But I retire nurses near me could now go to new churches are new nurses are only go. Sometimes some of you I said debiano ana mekan sa kasashew no enya de papa kasashew na nya papa nurse fo je na yen hwe mu yie krom ha yen ka no kre yen hwe mu yie krom ha yen hwe mu yie na se ya MPs am ko inspector project kekwe sky sense mo parliament yen hwe mu yie and ya critical state workers so when tu ka kasashew yen ko fa nipa fo from na nipa fo akra ono onye experience ba wo be pene so mejo yira wo yen ka no kre oh, you know, Fred the best of doctor, Mr. Ram, say, Obia here certain level semblance of experience in the system. So though we agree, so man, so many may be and quay near Diano. Sakasa show the papa. New net is ever yes can debate you muka. And say BB ho, I buy an empty deputy finance minister, or say about 2 billion at the back. Ebia, mom half and maybe a 1 billion be near between your baby, a bay. What I said, because I in Kunyabi near Cotoman Piso Menesika, I am me defend one with the brother. It's the next phone, Miss Ramon, and when they been to my Sabano crack, Modeco court, any delay. A delay, dear, by buying communicators. So I fire your senior animal, a deputy secretary, come on, Mo Casa son and Yapapa, Moko Bato, and Yasana Mocasa Cherewom. Yanka Casade, no mumra, because the nan and Obia bet me at all. Obia mi dra make a team na me de me ko no bi aniwa obia enti enya no boko saa e asem de ene be ka kire wo no mo so ma yo mo nem ye the next time saa na ye be ye no ba sa ye ka say o mpa akone saa na man de dabi new nurses no mo ba it will take a time esika they will need financial clearance so one budget for saa na o for financial clearance we that's another thing again new return nurses and what is even the metric for them to come. Do they have the strength? Omo energy rom betim dey adwuma no. So let's weigh the pros and cons. Aha na betim say 2 billion into na bia, say 25% which is about 500 million. Me just say betim find a way around it. E betim anya dia ma omne aye because I dey omne aban asan. Government is a continuum. I omo nhihye bi na anya MPP aban na ntimi anya bed na be 20 this aban no so. But when this aban no buy no. Good o, why enjoy sike wo ho, waje eke wo nso wafa. That is it. You inherit the assets and liabilities. Yempo sa na akoye intermediate me view on this matter no and no make sure so be subscribe and dem mo subscribe click the notification me the video be tuma obe hunu atimi ahwe se na da bia me kan Ghana hia ana me nso me hia make sure so be hwe so ye dem me bye bye.